Well, hello there and welcome in. I'm Mary Sue and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are going to do our daily tarot reading, and then afterwards we'll have day 14 of our Aquarius season 30-day challenge. So I hope you'll stick around for that. But let's go ahead and let's see what is on the horizon for you today. Inspiration. Oh my gosh, I love that card. And flow with the rhythm. Get lost in the rhythm of movement today. Both of those are this energy of kind of like embracing. Okay, I'm going to say embracing with going with the flow. I know we live in the 3D world. You may not be able to do it all day, but trying to today kind of like just following your intuition, maybe not quite having such a plan of what you are going to do. And if you can't do it today, try to schedule a day very soon where at least for part of the day, you can kind of just like stop, listen to your heart, see where you're being drawn to go. Because I feel like there's something here. Look, there's people dancing in that photo, right? It's kind of like people dancing, and it's allowing yourself to listen to the rhythm of your own heart, but the rhythm of other people that are almost like calling you into their life. That is, I don't know if I've ever gotten a message like that. Yeah, it's kind of like almost like stopping and listening for the rhythm of another person's heart or a group of people, their hearts, like allowing that to kind of like lead you to them, or sending out your heart rhythm, like almost like sending your heartbeat out to the universe for others to find you. Wow, beautiful. Okay, so let's see. Oh, there is. Okay, there's something here. Yeah, you're wanting, there's something, a new world. Something has to come down. The anxiety about stepping in a new direction. It has a lot to do with your core beliefs in who you are or your role in the world. It's helping angel of love, door to personal healing and happiness, just a kind of an energy here of allowing yourself to let go of this is the double energy. We have it twice, okay? So that is the energy of being attached to thinking that you have to kind of like either live your life a certain way or think a certain way, or the relationships in your life, whatever it is, something that you're attached to. It's time to allow yourself to have a new strategy to go forward. And the strategy comes in when you allow yourself, actually, it's almost like you're walking away from the strategy, the plan that you had at one time, understanding that there's a new plan that's calling you, a new group of people, a new passion, a new life purpose, whatever this is. But it does come with this energy of people or situations in your life that maybe have kind of like brought you down, deceived you, betrayed you. And there's an energy here of still asking why, like kind of being stuck in that energy. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, you're kind of like stuck in that energy. This is 5 of Swords and 5 of Cups. So the 5 of Cups is kind of concentrating on what you've lost or the fear of what you may lose, but instead focusing your attention on what you still have, right? And the 5 of Swords can be daytime anxiety. So we have the 9 of Swords, which is very much can't sleep at night, having that nighttime anxiety. The 5 of Swords is sometimes us in our heads trying to figure out things, trying to figure out why people have deceived us or why things haven't worked out the way that you wanted them to, you expected them to. Could be that Pluto energy, because both of these, Pluto in Capricorn, it's the Capricorn energy, but kind of like understanding that Pluto in Capricorn for 15 years, since 2008, could have been so detrimental to to your thinking you have to live a certain way, right? Or have certain relationships, or life should work out a certain way, especially if you follow the rules. People will love you. It's kind of like understanding I followed the rules. Capricorns love rules, right? I follow the rules, I'll be safe, I'll be secure, I'll be loved. Well, that didn't work out. If you're resonating with this and you're trying to figure it out. But there's a sense here, what you're being asked to do is to kind of like allow yourself to detach from that energy, because you're in an energy of manifesting. This is a manifestation card. So when you're manifesting, if you're in the energy of concentrating on what has occurred in the past that was disappointing or hurtful, then you're only going to manifest more of that. In order to break the cycle, in order to bring in people and situations that are really in alignment with what you want for yourself, for your higher good, this sense of unconditional love, then it's kind of like seeing a different perspective. It's not looking at what has occurred in the past because of why it caused you pain, or trying to figure out why somebody doesn't love you or want you, or things haven't worked out the way that you wanted them to. Instead, seeing it as a different perspective. With a hanged man, it's kind of like hanging upside down, trying to find a different perspective. It's time to turn that around and say, I'm not going to look at the disappointments in what has happened, but instead the blessings. Because even a dark cloud has a silver lining. Understanding, I'm going to focus on the gifts that came out of that difficult situation. So if you were in a relationship, right? Maybe you were even married. You were married and it was kind of like this energy of, we have each other's backs, but maybe this is the energy of codependency, right? Almost being codependent, all right? Understanding that if that came down, it was to help you to build a sense of independence, resilience, right? Courage, strength in your own life, instead of being reliant on other people or another person. Yeah, because there's something here about having kind of like a new strategy. And your strategy is not about being up in your head, but instead leading from your heart. So asking yourself in past situations, because we also have the temperance energy and the angel of balance, and then the contract, the Libra energy. So all of these are about bringing balance. Having relationships that are of equal give and take, right? It's not like I give everything to you and I don't expect that much in return. Or having big expectations of the other people that are in your relationships. Understanding that trying to bring in a sense of balance into your life. But in order to do that, you also have to create good, healthy boundaries and a balance within yourself. A sense of really a true kind of like moderation. Yeah, this is also the energy of alchemy, right? Taking a bad situation and turning it into a blessing, seeing, if nothing else, seeing it in a different perspective. As if, okay, things didn't work out the way I wanted them to, but this is the sense you're seeing that something that was detrimental in the past really is a blessing. For some of you, I feel like you're on the other side of that. Yeah, look at this. I feel like for some of you, this is a new romantic connection coming in, right? A deeper connection. We have the King of Coins, which is the King of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. A beautiful balance of responsibility, the King of Pentacles, responsibility, financial stability, being a good business person, right? Accountability, and then also leading from the heart, not just making money, but also sharing it with others. Not just having gifts and talents, but also sharing them with others. This is a sense, if it's not another person, it's a sense of bringing this balance within yourself, asking yourself, what gifts, what talents, what creative abilities do I have? How can I share them with others? That energy then comes back to you in the sense of financial abundance, a sense of fulfillment, joy, whatever that you're looking for in your life, including love. Yeah, because there's something here where maybe for some time, especially with Pluto in Capricorn for all those years, and no disrespect to Capricorn, right? But it is that energy of thinking life was about how much material things you can gain in life, or your external was some way of validation of your worth. Now you're understanding, well, that's not really true. It's kind of like the pendulum may have gone that way. You may have even then gone the other way, who knows? But it's kind of like coming back into the middle and understanding it's not about going out there and just living on whims, right? And it's not going out there and trying to see, how much you can gain out of life, especially materially. It's much more of an Aquarian energy of what do I have to offer, being your true authentic self. It's not about trying to fit in, but it's kind of like, what do I have to offer to the collective that helps everyone, right? That helps raise the vibration of the earth, that helps to heal others, that helps, the betterment of all. Yeah, so I feel like there's this situation that's kind of maybe highlighting that for yourself right now. We have financial constraints, the fears around allowing yourself to let go of, because this energy here is just really strong. Allowing yourself to let go of the fears around financial abundance or stability, right? And I know you can't throw that completely out. We live in the 3D world, but it's kind of like also understanding that when we're only focused on what we are creating in the material world, or what others may perceive, how others may perceive us because of what we own, that's a little bit of the hanged man. Being overly concerned about how others perceive us, depending on how much we may own or not own, because the financial constraints is here, right? That is an indication of our worthiness. But now understanding, no, the way I show up in my relationships, or the way I show up to help others, is just as important. It's not, maybe not necessarily more important, because you also don't want to overgive. This is the sense of needing balance. Yeah. Of working really hard. Capricorn energy. Capricorns are very hard workers, very good with their money, right? Very good at making money and saving money and being good with their money. But it's not just about making the money. It's also a sense of, do I have fulfillment in my life? The way that I'm making money, does it also make me happy, and a sense of life purpose and fulfillment in your life? Really interesting, because I think we are kind of moving into that energy, I've been around long enough through the 80s and the 90s, where it really was all about, your title, how much you were making, the house that you lived in, all of that. That was all very important. It was really important into the 2000s, right? But this is an energy of understanding. Pluto has moved into Aquarius. It's not just what we own. It is also, how are we showing up? How are we sharing ourselves? How are we loving ourselves? How are we loving others? That is also important. And again, I'm saying also, it's not one or the other. It's a fine balance between the two. Okay, let's see what our cosmic energy of the day is, because this is a good message that is coming out Yeah, joy. So, it's so funny. I was working with that word earlier myself when I was journaling. Joy is the dance of the soul. Enjoy every moment. Yeah. It's about understanding that there's a sense of joy when we are really allowing ourselves to create the world that we really and truly want to live in. And it's not just the world we're living in, our own little part of the world, right? But how can I also send my joy, my love, my light, my healing energy, right? My gifts, my talents out into the world? You see those butterflies, right? It's kind of like, if I'm creating it right here, that's great. But after a while, it's kind of like, well, I'm just creating it right here around me. And it doesn't bring us a lot of joy in our life. It's allowing ourselves to expand, to not necessarily just hold on to our money or just create with our money those things that we want. That is important. Not putting that to the side, right? But also, how can I use my financial abundance, right, to create more joy for others too? And it doesn't mean you have to give your money away, but it's just kind of like understanding, how can I also use this to give to others? One thing about the laws of the universe is that if you just hold on to money, or you just, holding on to money can have a big bank of money, right? Or it can be just creating things for yourself, a little bit of that. Then what happens is that you're stopping the flow of money. Eventually, it'll run out because you're not allowing yourself to put your energy back out there, your energy of gratitude, of love, of giving to others. And so it's kind of like, okay, I want this nice flow. I'm putting out my creative energies. I'm attracting in financial abundance, a sense of fulfillment and joy, and then I'm sending it back out, right? Keeping that movement. Think of money as energy. Money is not just something we can hold or hoard or build with. It is energy, and allowing yourself to keep that energy flowing. Okay, so let's pull a soul truth card for you. And I do personal readings. If you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. What passion am I ready to pursue? Yeah, I feel like there is this energy with this. The King of Pentacles is passionate about what he's building, but he's really passionate. Part of his passion is building money, right? Making money. Nothing wrong with that. But we're moving into a different time, okay? You think 200 years ago, even 1,000 years ago, right? It was all about kings and kingdoms and building, empire building, right? Now it's kind of like, okay, what can I also do, right? How can I enjoy? How can I bring more joy into my work? How can I create a life where I'm not just going to work in order to create money, but I'm always also going to work and having a sense of joy and fulfillment in my work, and bringing a sense of joy and fulfillment to others, right? A sense of healing, a sense of sharing your light and your love. A very powerful energy. I can't remember. I actually think it was the Capricorn February reading that had something very similar to that energy of allowing ourselves to enjoy what we're doing. There, coming away from that pendulum of either I work really hard and make a lot of money, and maybe I don't like my job, but it pays a lot, or I have to be a starving artist, right? It's kind of like, no, it's time for us to also enjoy what we're doing, and creating from that joy helps to bring in this sense of abundance. All right, I am going to leave it there. If you're leaving me now, I hope you have a wonderful day. If you're sticking around for the 30-day challenge, let's go ahead and get that started. Well, welcome into the 30-day challenge. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope you're enjoying these. So today's theme was inspiration, right? And it says, flow with the rhythm, get lost in the rhythm of movement today. Okay, so I kind of chuckled when this card came up, because I was thinking one of the things that I'm doing for that 30-day challenge of doing 5 to 15 minutes of something joyful that you really and truly enjoy doing is turning on music and dancing. And it's so funny. The other night, I was just kind of like, I don't know. You know how you just, I sat. And once I sit, it's sometimes hard for me to get up and get going again. And then I was like, oh, I haven't done my dancing today, right? And I turned on the music, started dancing, and then all of a sudden I had all this energy and I was ready to go again, right? Understanding that when we allow ourselves perhaps to sit too long and think about stuff, right? This is the energy of thinking too much about it. It pulls our energy down and we don't have that sense of inspiration. We gain that sense of inspiration when we allow ourselves to do things that do bring us joy. Those passions, those creative projects, right? Not about making money, but just doing it because you find it joyful. Yeah, so I feel like there is something here, especially with these two cards coming out. You might just feel like you're a little bit stuck, okay? A little bit stuck. And asking yourself, am I sitting and thinking about it too much, or am I allowing myself to get my body going and put more time and energy into just, toiling with something, right? Whether that is gardening or painting or knitting or baking or being outside in nature. It's kind of like, okay, I've got to change my energy right now. Because there is something here about allowing yourself to get inspired about creating something in your life, bringing more passion and joy into it, but then also being able to bring more passion and joy into your work, or even perhaps changing your career, your life purpose, stepping into your life purpose, where you are taking something that you are passionate about and maybe starting a spiritual business or some type of a business where you can share yourself with the world. Beautiful energy. Okay, so I did want to read the back of this. It says, your passions will continuously lead you to your purpose. Remember, we had the inspiration card, and it really is about getting out of your head and back into your heart, right? Getting out of sitting around and thinking about this. And I know it's hard, especially with the chaotic energy right now. But it's just like me when I was sitting there the other night thinking, what am I going to do tonight or whatever, It's just kind of like, okay, instead of sitting here, I'm going to get up. I'm turning on the music. I'm going to dance. And I danced for a couple of minutes. Then all of a sudden, bam, the inspiration came back in, right? It's kind of like allowing ourselves to move the body. It helps to raise our vibration and gets us more into the center of our heart instead of in our heads. Yeah. So it said, what passions have you put to the side, given up on, or buried? What passion is ready to come alive in you? And this is all about passion. What passion are you ready to pursue? What passion gets your juices going again? And don't worry about, well, I don't know, where that's going to lead. It's okay, because when we get lost in our passion, whether it's baking or gardening or whatever, it allows us to get more in touch with our intuition. It allows us to get into the flow, and in the flow allows you to receive new messages from your spirit guides and angels. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, you're moving towards a sense of wanting, not just material abundance, but abundance in all areas of your life. Yeah, it could be you're even wanting abundance in your health, right? And especially with these two cards, maybe even mental health, wanting to, feel more energetic, more alive, more passionate about life, and allowing yourself to understand, where am I concentrating? Where am I thinking my worth lies? Understanding life isn't about what you're worth. Life is about how you're passionately living your life. Wow, beautiful energy here. Let's see. I'm going to pull one of these cards because I feel compelled to pull Yeah, look at what's on the bottom. Transformation. A fresh new way of living emerges. Yes. No longer allowing yourself to, I feel for a lot of you, this is the way you live your life, whether you are still working and have a career or you are retired and the way you spend your day. There is something here about understanding. I'm no longer allowing myself to live in that old Capricorn energy, right? Of thinking that what I do, whether it's your title or how much money you make or what you own, that doesn't define me. What does define me, right, is how I use my gifts, my talents, my loving light, my healing energy for other people, but also understanding, getting over, if you will, the social norms, I guess you might say, although I think they're changing, of what your career, your life purpose. Yeah, your career and your life purpose are two different things, right? Your career is the daily work, but your life purpose is the reason you are here. And I feel like that's part of what you're understanding, is that you want to blend your career more into, to be more aligned to your life purpose. That's the word. Yeah, grounding, begin now, uncovering treasure. Wow, discovering the truth. I love this. So the grounding, especially, this is a lot of anxiety, right? And understanding with the grounding, it is about being in nature, gardening without gloves if you can. Being barefoot outside really helps. Wearing red, eating root vegetables. There's a lot of this chaotic energy on the earth, understanding, especially if you are sensitive or you are empath, that you could be taking in some of that, allowing yourself to dissipate that by being in nature and spending time each day grounding your energy. Because there's something here, you're uncovering a treasure, and it says, beneath the surface lies great beauty, right? Great bounty. Ooh, that's even better, right? It's kind of like understanding when you allow yourself to get out of your head and start creating, even in the littlest way, spending more time in nature, you're tapping back into your heart space. You're uncovering your life purpose. You're uncovering the treasure of why you are here. And then that will lead you to your new beginning, right? Not worrying about, well, what does that mean, right? It's kind of like, I'll allow the universe to lead me in the right direction. Yeah. I feel like you have fellow travelers that are going to join you. There's something about uncovering who you are, what your special gifts and talents are, allowing yourself to do that deep dive, because it's time to uncover those treasures and no longer like work for the emperor or work for the money, but instead understand, wait a minute, I have this treasure. I can turn this treasure into financial stability for myself when I allow myself to share it lovingly with the world. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So journal activity. I'm going to say journal activity is, perhaps you don't even have to journal, right? It's about spending time in nature. Get out in nature. If you can, get out in nature. I know the other day, well, I'll say last week, the weather where I live has been really funky this winter. Not a very good winter. And so I just, Maggie and I, we got in the car and we just went for a drive, right? And it was like I drove to one of the parks that I really like, and it really just kind of like turned on some music, some nice music in the car, and just like looked at the trees, because it was the weather was inclement. I felt like I couldn't be actually out in it, but it was. We actually rolled down the windows a little bit for a little time, but I felt better, right? I felt like I was connecting to nature, even though the weather was not very pleasant for being in nature. So I feel like part of it today is allowing yourself to really spend time in nature, or allow yourself to do some activities that really help to get you out of your head and more into your heart. And also making sure that you're spending 5 to 15 minutes every day on your joyful activity, just doing something you enjoy for the pleasure of doing it, not for any other reason, right? And allowing yourself to do that. If you feel still like you would like to journal, one thing that may be really good to do is to allow yourself to list down all the things that you love about yourself. Whether they're a trait or a talent or a skill, think about all of kind of like your accomplishments and just list them out and see if anything comes to you. How can you use those skills, those talents, those traits that you have, your own treasure? How can you use that to perhaps allow yourself to kind of envision where it is that you want to go and next? Yeah, getting back into your heart and being really, I would really spend time kind of like, yeah, go me, right? Like give yourself a high five. Yeah, go me, look at me, look at how wonderful I am. Allow yourself to do that. Because if we don't do it for ourselves, nobody else is going to do it. People will do it. I'm not saying that, but it's kind of like understanding that until we see who we are and treasure who we are first, we can't attract in people that are also going to value who we are. Yeah, beautiful energy. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I wish you so much love and light. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.